Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10.
Right now on News 6 at 10, a manatee is no longer stuck after it was trapped inside a drain pipe for most of the night in Brevard County. The team effort from first responders that involved cutting open the street and bringing in a crane. Also,
we knew this would happen. We were after you to get this stuff out, and you dragged your feet to get it out.
we are hearing the fear from a community worried about their health after chemical-soaked railroad ties caught fire. Tonight, the decision by the city against the rail company. Plus, an update on the gut-wrenching search for Nancy Guthrie, now more than a week old. Good evening to you. I'm Eric Von Anken. So glad you're with us on this Monday night. This is News 6 at 10. It was an intense night in Melbourne Beach as crews worked quickly but carefully to save a manatee over the past several hours. We streamed this live for you on clickorlando.com since about 7 p.m. This is video from that dramatic rescue. News 6's Troy Campbell has been at the scene all night long. And Troy, people seemed happy when the manatee finally came out, understandably.
Oh, you bet, Eric. This whole area, once we arrived, was filled with people. And then once that manatee got near coming out of that hole, everyone actually started chanting Melby, giving the manatee a nickname, given the fact we are in Melbourne Beach. If you take a look behind me, you can see what is left in the roadway, the hole that they made. They've already begun repairing that here at the corner of Oak and Riverview. And again, thankfully, we watched as that manatee was successfully lifted out of there just before 9 p.m. Now, city officials say this manatee was spotted today by a survey crew that was in the area working on a nearby flooding project. They say that worker alerted officials to the manatee. Now, we saw crews with multiple agencies out here, including agents with jackets that said federal police. We had FWC, SeaWorld, and of course, Brevard County Fire Rescue. Melbourne leaders say it's believed that manatee, it swam in from the Indian River. It was seeking warmer water during the cold snap that we had last week. So they think it's been in there since then. Now, we watched as they dug through the road. They broke through the concrete, eventually watched as they were able to remove that manhole. That's when we saw crews move in with the hoist. Several members of the rescue team then began to surround that hole. Soon after, they moved in the crane and they lifted that manatee out. Everyone had their phones recording, again, cheering, people chanting Melby as a nickname, given we're in Melbourne Beach. Neighbors saying they had to see this rescue in person. Take a listen.
Volunteers that came, and very few of those people are getting paid tonight, you know. And it's just an amazing spirit, and that's why the people all clapped and cheered, and it was great. It's proud to be from here and live here, and you know, be from this community.
And again, seemingly a happy ending. This is what is left of the roadway here. And again, I asked neighbors about what did they think about now that they have this hole here and they're going to have to detour. They said it wasn't a concern. It was worth it. They just wanted the manatee out, anything that needed to happen. Now, we were told that the manatee, if it was healthy, it would be released. If it wasn't, it would be taken to SeaWorld for rehabilitation. We are waiting to hear back from FWC for an update on that. Until then, live in Melbourne Beach tonight, Troy Campbell, News 6. Back to you, Eric.
I really highly suggest you guys get out your checkbook because we're about to get paid for our suffering. This is not right.
That was some of the comments from a city council meeting to discuss this. We told you about this huge fire that burned tens of thousands of chemically treated railroad ties in Dunellen, sending this smoke cloud into the air and raising serious health and environmental concerns for the community. Alex Cook was there tonight and has the latest on what the city plans now to do to address these concerns.
The City Council voted Monday to join Marion County's injunction against CSX Rail. They say it'll be a legal tool in case the company doesn't clean up the environment to their satisfaction. A rep from that rail company, though, says it won't be necessary, that they are here to help.
We know we're at the beginning of this remediation. And, you know, whether we have injunction filed against CSX or Trackline or FNOR, I can speak for the company. It makes no difference. We're here to get this fixed. We are here to get this worked out.
Craig Camuso is in charge of CSX Rail's cleanup efforts. He says the Florida Department of Environmental Protection approved the company's cleanup plan Monday afternoon and they'll begin cleaning affected soil on Tuesday. He also said the company has resumed removing thousands of rail ties since the fire. The city council praised CSX for its transparency and communication since the fire, saying they hope to continue a good relationship. Those who came to speak at the meeting weren't so sure the company at fault should be leading the cleanup.
We have the thumbs watching the hen house. We knew this would happen. We were after you to get this stuff out, and you dragged your feet to get it out.
This is economic discrimination, and this has to stop.
Some say they and their families have already faced health effects from breathing in smoke from the chemicals in the air as the rail ties burned.
I don't need a sample. I can feel it in my lungs. My daughter can feel it. It was throughout my house. My house smells like it.
Others say they've already lost business in a town that relies on ecotourism.
I really highly suggest you guys get out your checkbook, because we're about to get paid for our suffering. This is not right.
Just how bad and how long-lasting the effects from the burning chemicals will be for Dunellen remains to be seen. In Dunellen, Alex Cook, News 6.
All right, we want to get over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegis, who is tracking what looks like, that looks like a tropical night out there. We're on our way back.
Absolutely. We are back. It's happening. We are turning the flipping the script here. And look at these temperatures at 10 o'clock at night. We had high temperatures that failed to reach this last week. And now we're back to the upper 50s in Orlando, Oviedo. We are at 56, 55 in Palm Bay. Mid-50s in Bushnell, Wildwood. We are at 45 degrees. We will be on the cooler side to start tomorrow. Still jacket worthy. Most of us still in the 40s. Still a bite to the air, but that's about it. Certainly nothing like last work week. There's that little chunk of high pressure just right up below the banner there where it says satellite and radar. That has induced that easterly breeze to keep us on the cooler side along the coast. That chunk of high pressure going to keep us dry over the next few days. You see here, though, rain chances do start to spike a little bit on Sunday. We have a pretty big race on Sunday. We're going to have the latest modeling when it comes to the Daytona 500 at about 10:17, Eric.
A lot of people want to know.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk to you then. Thank you, sir. Now to a developing story out of Apopka, where we're learning more about the discovery of 2 bodies at this general store. Police say they have now ruled this a murder-suicide. Family and friends gathered at Griffin's General Store over the weekend to mourn those siblings.
How's your family coping with all of this?
It's a lot. We're trying, but 2 deaths at once is kind of shocking.
The bodies were found Friday night at Griffin General Store on Michael Gladden Boulevard. They were identified as brother and sister, Shanida and Ezra Swift. This is a developing story. You can stay up to date on air and online with News 6 at clickorlando.com. Today's show co-host Savannah Guthrie is talking on social media today, making a plea for the public's help now in finding her mother, Nancy. As CBS News' Andre Gutierrez reports, this comes as both local authorities and the FBI say they still have not identified a suspect or person of interest in this case.
Hi there, everybody. I wanted to come on and just share a few thoughts as we enter into another week of this nightmare.
On Monday, Today Show co-host Savannah Guthrie took to social media to make a public appeal. This comes as authorities continue to search for her mother, Nancy, who was first reported missing 8 days ago. Law enforcement have yet to identify a person of interest or suspect in the case. A parent ransom notes that the FBI are working to authenticate were sent to multiple media outlets last week, establishing 2 deadlines, one for last Thursday and another for Monday. Over the weekend, Savannah and her siblings indicated they are willing to work with those who have taken their mother.
This is very valuable to us, and we will pay.
In her latest video message, Savannah Guthrie expressed hope.
We believe our mom is still out there.
She also issued a plea to the public.
No matter where you are, even if you're far from Tucson, if you see anything, if you hear anything, if there's anything at all that seems strange to you, that you report to law enforcement. We are at an hour of desperation.
Authorities worked through the weekend to search for more clues in connection to Nancy Guthrie's disappearance, including removing items from her roof and searching her daughter Annie's home. The Guthrie family has expressed concern about 84-year-old Nancy's health. She's in need of daily medication they believe she's been without for more than a week. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Tucson, Arizona.
Now to a story, one of the most trending on our website, clickorlando.com. Tonight we're learning more about a bill to ban smoking in public statewide. South Florida Representative Deborah Tendrick is one of the bill's co-sponsors. She tells News 6 that according to the bill, smoking would be banned in public places like streets, sidewalks, highways, public parks, public beaches, schools, apartment buildings, even hospitals. The sponsors of the bill say for them it is less about enforcement and more about respecting shared spaces. Bill still has to go to committees to go through, but if it does move forward, it'll go into effect July 1st. We'll keep you posted. In the meantime, you can weigh in on our poll on clickorlando.com. Vote there whether you're for or against the push to ban smoking in public places across Florida. You can see just the no's are edging out yeses by a little bit. But vote and tell us what you think. Orlando's annual Gay Days event is not going to happen this year. Up next, why organizers say they were forced to make a tough decision this year and why they say it's only temporary. And drought and dry conditions forcing officials in Flagler County to call for a state of emergency there, the wildfire that sparked the alert. You're watching News 6 at 10, live on a Monday night, covering St. Cloud, Wilbur by the Sea, and all of Central Florida.
This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda Dealers.
Off on clickorlando.com, a major event for the LGBTQ plus community in Orlando will not be happening this year. The annual Gay Days event, the organizers say, is on pause. They say they're unable to hold the event this year because of changes to their host hotel agreement and loss of key sponsorship support. But as organizers stress, the event is not over, just on pause. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest takes a look at the history of this annual event.
Back in the 1970s and 80s, before Gay Days began, it was still extremely rare for members of the LGBTQ community to gather in big groups in public in a very visible way. But then in the early 1990s, a group of folks from Central Florida here thought it would be fun to dress everyone in the same colored shirts and head to the theme parks. This News 6 video captured during the early years of Gay Days shows the spectacle it once was, as crowds of Magic Kingdom visitors showed off their pride by wearing red shirts. It's a tradition that dated back to the very first Gay Day in 1991. That year, Orlando resident Doug Swallow encouraged members of the local LGBTQ community to show up at the theme parks on the first Saturday in June simply to have fun. The event quickly grew from a single-day get-together to a nearly week-long party.
Gay Days is just really a vacation gathering of gays and lesbians from around the world, and straight people.
By its 10th year, corporate sponsors were lining up to support Gay Days while cashing in on the millions of dollars the event was bringing to the local economy.
As the mayor of Orlando, I think this is the first year that the mayor's attended this event. Yeah.
While some elected leaders embraced Gay Days, gay
a lesbian wig. That's the scene.
It also generated lots of controversy.
These individuals are destroying themselves.
Religious organizations picketed Gay Days gatherings and flew banners over the theme parks. In 1997, the Southern Baptist Convention launched a boycott of Disney, even though the company did not officially recognize Gay Days at the time. The boycott ended 8 years later. Meanwhile, Gay Days was flourishing.
It's a great event. It's a celebration.
In recent years, Gay Days has attracted nearly 200,000 people to dozens of official and unofficial meetups.
We're not stopping based on what's going on in Tallahassee.
Yet 3 years ago, organizers told us they were starting to feel pressure from state leaders amid crackdowns on drag shows and laws targeting diversity initiatives. Now, for the first time in its nearly 35-year history, Gay Days is being paused. Organizers say in coming months they'll have more information about the event's future. Mike DeForest, News 6.
County is under a local state of emergency for at least the next week due to extremely dry and dangerous conditions. This comes after firefighters fought tirelessly through last week and the weekend to contain a 170-acre wildfire on the south end of Flagler, close to the Volusia County border. Your Flagler County community correspondent Molly Reed breaks down what this state of emergency means for you.
A burn ban is now in place as part of a local state of emergency. Now, this is where the wildfire ripped through near Plantation Bay. Dozens of residents had to be evacuated. And in fact, you can see just how close it got to the church here. Now, we're told this fire has been 100% contained, but this area is at extremely high risk right now for this to happen again.
We had it in a good position, and the winds changed as the front rolled in, and it broke out very fast.
This video from Community Baptist Church shows Flagler firefight stopping the blaze before it hit the building.
The freeze created a lot of fuel for us. You know, things that were normally wet, are now dead and drying.
It wasn't just this large wildfire making for a busy weekend. Chief Michael Tucker says they have been swamped with putting out small fires before they grow. He says these fires are popping up faster and spreading quicker than almost anything they've seen in over a decade.
It was so thick that it was coming in my house and it was affecting my cats and us breathing. So we had to close up the house and make reservations.
Paula Green is one of the Plantation Bay residents who watched the wildfire creep near her home and got the text from the county to get ready to leave it behind.
I can't believe people actually lit a fire with these conditions.
She is pleading for her neighbors now to heed the warning.
This is very critical. I hope that they pay more attention to the fire department.
And we're told a state of emergency and burn ban could be extended depending on how conditions improve. I'm your Flagler County community correspondent Molly Reed, News 6.
Meteorologist Jonathan Kegas back with us. Jonathan, we need rain,
We do.
not Sunday afternoon.
That's right, Sunday afternoon. That's the Daytona 500. We can get the rain either before or after, preferably after. But yeah, serious situation here. Burn ban's now in play for Polk County, Sumter, Marion County, and then of course you just heard Molly talk about Flagler County as well. We're keeping a very close eye on the drought situation. We've been looking at these numbers for about the last several weeks and watching these numbers come up. Now this is kind of the daily rolling index here of how dry things really are. The higher the number on this map, the easier it is. The drier things are, the easier things will burn. That 500 number pretty much puts counties into burn ban. So we have one in Sumter, we have one in Marion. Those numbers are into the 550s. Flagler, we're getting close to that 500 number. You heard Molly Reed again say that we're already in that burn ban. Polk, we are having that burn ban as well as our numbers over the 500. We're closing in Osceola and Lake. We are running about 4 to 6 weeks ahead of last year when comparing these numbers. So again, last year's drought was pretty bad, and we are way ahead of that again. So we could use some rain. Big system on the board here. We're fast forwarding to the weekend. This is Saturday night at 11 o'clock, of course. The Daytona 500 is on Sunday, big race weekend in Daytona. There is the bigger system sliding through. Maybe a few stray showers trying to slide in out ahead of it. We're stopping this Sunday at 7 o'clock. Race time is 2:30. It's going to be close. I'm cautiously optimistic that this guy's going to continue to slow down a little bit. We get the race in, and then we get the beneficial rain late Sunday night into the first half of Monday. Keep on checking back again, fine-tuning the timing on that. But watching that system kind of roll across the Deep South starting as we get into Thursday and then crossing our area into the weekend. Here's a live look in Daytona Beach. Everything is dry right now. Back to the mid-50s. The wind is calm, clear skies, gorgeous afternoon. Temperature-wise puts us into the upper 50s in Sanford. DeLand, we're at 55 right now. Denellen, we're back to the mid-40s, 54 degrees in Holapa. Getting into tonight, still a little chilly. It's not frigid by any means, but you may want the light jacket tomorrow morning when you're getting off to work or school. Upper 30s and lower 40s back in Marion County. For us in Wildwood, we're in the lower 40s. We're at 49 in Kissimmee. Melbourne, we're at 52. The average low temperature for this time of the year is in the low 50s, so running just a few notches below that, so we are seasonably cool tomorrow. Hour by hour forecast into the afternoon. Fantastic. Upper 60s by 10. 77 by 1, staying into the mid-70s. Comfort level is through the roof, not only for tomorrow, but for the next several days. Rain chances, again, 0%. We're back to around 80 in Orlando and Oviedo. Sanford, we're at 78. Wildwood, Bushnell, we're at 79 degrees tomorrow. Next 7 days, not a ton of rain. Upper 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Note those overnight low temperatures. When you wake up in the morning, they're back into the mid-50s. They climb to around 60 over the weekend. There are those increasing rain chances for Sunday. Again, at this point, cautiously optimistic that that rain is going to hold off until after the race. Trying to fine-tune timing on that. Keep on checking back, Eric.
We will. Thank you, sir. An altercation between two drivers leads to a car ending up inside a Castleberry business. Still to come, your News 6 Seminole County community correspondent Catherine Silver heads to the scene where business must continue on despite that big cleanup.
An angry driver accelerates right into the side of a building, and it's caught on camera. I'm Catherine Silver, your Seminole County community correspondent. We're showing you video from a driver who was just sitting in traffic on 1792, saw a confrontation happen, and then started recording. Castleberry police say a case of road rage led to this. Watch the Mustang as it starts to swerve and then cuts across 1792. It's a matter of seconds before the driver smashes into the side of this building.
So he came right across it. He caught air over that median.
Chad Brillis showed us where it happened Saturday.
The whole thing is completely slammed in.
He's one of the owners of 5 Day Cabinets. This is his family's business.
When he got out, my sister came up because he's yelling, my baby, and he's running around the car to the passenger side, and she's like, oh my God, there's a baby in the car. And he was referring to his car.
Brillis says his sister was inside, where you can see the shattered glass and structural damage.
This pillar is what they're worried about.
The speed and impact.
It knocked this whole wall back 8 inches.
His son sits in this office.
Thank God it was a Saturday, and there wasn't people all sitting at their desks and showroom full of customers. There was one guy in here.
Brillis says it was close call after close call.
If he'd have been a couple more inches to the left, he'd have driven right through here.
They're close enough they could hear the confrontation before the crash, when Castleberry police say Aubrey Spencer Hudson was angry at another driver.
Completely reckless.
The calls that flooded into 911 said it was road rage.
Apparently he cut off another vehicle and it looked like the other driver bumped him. He was out screaming at the other driver, hopped in his car, took off, spun out.
This is how it ended.
because it could have been bad.
Castleberry police gave us a copy of the citation they gave the driver of that Mustang for reckless driving. As for Brillis's business, you can see it's boarded up on the side. They're waiting to see how serious the structural damage is. That will determine how long this location might need to be closed. In Castleberry, I'm Catherine Silver, News 6.
It's all about the warm-up. Still a little chilly in the morning, seasonably chilly though. And then we're back to the 70s. We need some rain, maybe some for the weekend. More on that at 11.
A lot to talk about. See you 11. Bye.